thanks for watching my lesson. This one is going to be on the Neil Young song Powderfinger, specifically the second guitar solo. I've got a video, probably one of my more popular ones in terms of the song lessons, on the song as a whole and the first solo. I've had lots of people ask me to do the second solo, so I figured, you know, I should probably do it. So come in for a close-up and we'll have a look. Thank you. So this lesson is all about the second solo. If you haven't seen my other video, then that goes over the whole song. So if you want to learn how to play Powderfinger, then you're better off watching that video. It goes over the chords, some of the little embellishments, the riff, and the first solo. As a result of that video, lots of requests to do this solo, hence this lesson. Generally, I'm kind of a bit reluctant to do the Neil Young ones because I always get the copyright flag. It's not really relevant because I've got so few subscribers, but if ever I did get a few more, I guess it could be an issue. Who knows? I think that's just the way of YouTube and lessons now. It tends to be any song lesson I do gets a copyright flag, whereas if I transcribe a lesser known solo kind of from the blues genre, or I do a blues rhythm lesson, then I don't get the copyright flags, and the same with the backing tracks, they tend to be alright. So the three things I focus on, it's definitely song lessons which are more problematic. I digress anyway, so let's get stuck into this one. So it's slightly harder than the first one. Not so much in note choice, just in the fact it's slightly messier, and if you really want to be exact and do exactly what Neil Young does, it's a bit tricky. There's a lot of effects going on and possible unintentional hits, so you don't want to be too precise really. But I'll go over all the notes as I hear them. Essentially we're in kind of G major, and then we switch to a bit of B minor pentatonic. Just to recap the chords, it's in the key of G. There's lots of back and forth between G and C, and then it switches between C and B minor, and then finishes on the big D riff, which is this. As I say, I'll tell you how to play that in the other lesson, so jump on over there if you wish, but just again, it's essentially. So he's going to start this second solo, so when he hits that C, he's doing a bit of whammy bar, there's something going on there, and then he comes up and does this artificial harmonic up on the 12th fret, which is 12 on the G and 12 on the B. Lightly touch them over the 12th fret, the actual fret bar itself, and pull off. Lots of lessons on how to do harmonics, I'm sure, on YouTube. But that's kind of what he's doing. So we've got and then the solo starts. And I'm going to play through, for those of you who learn quite quickly and don't want to listen to me blabbing on for half an hour. I'll do a slow version once through now, so you can try and work out what I'm doing. So. So, first little lick then. So after we come off this harmonic, we're then going to go. So we're hammering on the high E string from 7 to 10, and then picking the 7 again, then picking the 10 again, and then picking it again and sliding up to 12. And then finish with back to the 10 and then come up to 12 on the B. So and then we're going to do this. So pick the 10 again twice on a high E, and the second time hammer on to the 12 again. And then move up to the B string and hammer on 10 to 12 there. And then a double stop, so 8 on the B and the E. Bar it with your first finger, and we want a very tiny bit of bend. Almost imperceivable, not even a quarter really. So. And then with the middle finger reach up and play the 9 on the G, back to the 8, this time just on the B. So. And then we're going to play an open G. And then we're going to slide up from 5 to 7 on that G as well. So. And then finish with a 7 on the E for that little lick. So let's do that again and put it all together so you can get the feel and the timing right. So all together so far we've got and we're going to do that. So what we're doing there, so we've just hit the 7, we're going to strike it again and hammer on and off to the 8. And then pick the 7 again. And then come up and hit the 7 on the G again. And then play the 7 again on the G. Play 9 on the G and slide up to 11, so. And then play 9 again on the G, so. All together. Next bit is going to be this. So what we're doing there is, so after we've come up from here, so 7 again on the high E, and then pick it again and hammer onto the 8, and then pick the 7 again, and then we're going to hit the open E, and then quickly go down to the 5 on the E, and then the open E again, and then the 3. So it's quite fiddly and it's quite quick. And then 3 on the B string, and then play 3 again on the B string and hammer onto the 5. So. And then 3, 5, 3 on the E, and then 5 to 7, slide up, and then so we're sliding up from 5 to 7, and then we're striking again on the 7. So that bit from here, all together. Now we've got this bit. So what we're doing there is we've got 7 on the G, 9 on the D, and then back to 7 on the G, but we're palm muting. So fleshy part of the right hand as close to the bridge as you can without being off of it. So we still want to have some sort of muting, but we don't want to mute too much, essentially. And it's if you've got the sort of effects going on that Neil Young's got, that would sound pretty good. Yeah, a lot of gain, whatever else he does. I'm not entirely sure what sort of pedals he uses, to be honest, but there's definitely something going on. that kind of thing, and then come to 12 on the G without the muting. So, and then finish off that with that little bit with 10, 12 on the E, and then hammer on 10 to 12 on the B. And now this bit is quite straightforward, but it's quite hard to memorise the order here, so I'm going to go through it quite slowly and hopefully not get it wrong. I did a version of this already, got it wrong, decided to do the whole thing rather than leave quite a dodgy mistake in there, but hopefully this time this will be spot on. So essentially we've come up from here, and we're going to be doing this now. So we've come off of this. We're then going to go 12 on the B, 10 on the E, and then quickly come up to 15 on the B, 14 on the E, and then 15, 14 on the E, so, and then we go 14 on the E, 17 on the B, 14 on the E, so, and then switch and start with 17 on the B, 14 on the E, 17 on the B. So, and then pick 14 on the E, hammer on and pull off 15. And then 17, 14, back and forth twice. And then play the 17 a third time. And then finish off this little bit with 15, 14, 12, on the E, and then 15 on the B. And at this point the chords behind are switching to the B minor, and we're going to move over to some unison bends in the first position or the first pattern of the B minor pentatonic, which is similar to how he ends the first solo, but this one the timing is kind of off. It's not as typical Neil Young. It sounds good, it sounds musical, but it doesn't necessarily flow in the way you would if you were improvising yourself, which I guess is why he's so unique. So we're going to, basically I'll play through until the end now and you can see what all the unisons sound like together. So we've got So what we're doing there is we're going to start off with a double stop on the B and the E string, 7th fret. We're then going to play the unison bend, which is the 7 on the B, and then we're going to bend up one step, the 9 on the G. And this is where the timing is a bit odd. He kind of delays the gap between those two strums a little bit longer than you anticipate. So, and I can't stress enough, don't worry about doing exactly as he is doing unless you really want to, and if you really want to, listen to my intro or listen to even better still, listen to the original and work out the exact gaps between these notes. Yeah, I don't think he's thinking about it too much. But basically what we've got there is double stop, unison bend, hold it for a bit and then pick that 9 on the G and bring back down. So, and then play 7 on the G. So, and then 9 9 on the D, back to 7 on the G. Pick that 7 again and hammer onto the 9 on the G. So. Then pick the 9 again, and then 7 twice on the G. So 9 on the G, 7 twice on the G. Like that, so. So after we've done 9, 7, 7 on the G, we do 9, 7 on the D, and then hammer back on from 7 to 9 on the D. And finish that little bit by picking 7 4 times on the G string. Bit of vibrato for the first 3, I think. Again, listen to that if you want to get that precise. And then to finish with, we're going to do this. So all we're doing there, we're starting off with the double stop again, which is the 7 and 7 on the B and the E. We're then waiting a little bit again and then quickly picking that 7 on the B and then doing the unison and bend again. And then just before we do the release of that bend, we're going to strike the double stop 7 7 again. So. And then I think he's picking the 7 about 3 times and hammering onto the 9. It gets a bit muddy in the recording and I can't be 100% that's what he's doing there, but that's what I think he's doing. And then finish with your D riff, which, to recap, if you can't remember from the first video, is basically hit the open D string, then play a D chord, and then 3 times on the 2nd fret on the E string, open, 3 on the B, open on the B, and then 3 again and slide up to 5. Play the 3 again on the B, and then the open on the B, and then strum a C, and then a G. So that last bit from where we start the unison bends is. And that's it. One more time, at a really slow pace, and then we'll call it a day. So coming off of this. Cool, that's it. Let me know if you've got any questions, and I'll see you for the next one. Have a happy Christmas. Thank you.